I'm going to give a quick overview here on SkyEyes and problems with SkyEyes and how to fix them. Okay? Of all the pieces of equipment installed by Sky, probably the handiest and also the most troublesome is the SkyEye. A quick overview: the purpose of a SkyEye is to allow people not alone to view the output from the Skybox in the second room, but also to be able to change channels from that room. And that briefly is achieved with a Skybox, because on the back of a Skybox you'll see there's a feed in on a Skybox which allows an RT signal to be fed in, and a modulator inside the box combines that signal with the output from the Skybox. Now, it's not essential that the aerial feed is there. The Sky output will work regardless, but it's very handy that the particular feed from that box is fed in at that point. And we have two outputs, so you can feed it to the television that's in the room and also to another television somewhere else in the house. One of these outputs is called RF1, and it's simply a passive output which gives the picture out, but there's no electrical signal in this output. And the second signal here is a RF2, and we can see written next to it 9 volt DC, 75 milliamp max. And this basic 9 volt with a very, very low current of only 75 milliamps is what's going to power our SkyEye. So when it says the power, the sole purpose of that power is to take a signal from your SkyEye. This is an example of a perception SkyEye. In my opinion, it's definitely the best SkyEye on the market, far superior to others. It'll work on a lower voltage, and it also has a very handy feature, which is a little feed on this side, which allows it to slot directly into the back of a flat screen television without having to try to squeeze the SkyEye in directly behind. In any case, what we want to have is, we want to have a situation where this SkyEye, of course, will always be in a separate room. You'll never have it in the same room as the Skybox itself, because if you had it in the same room as the Skybox, you wouldn't need a SkyEye. You could simply point your remote control at it. Now, within the box itself, within the Skybox itself, what you need to do is turn on the SkyEye. You need to actually hit button number 4, or sorry, you need to hit the services button, go for option number 4, and then in quick succession type button 0, button 1, and press select. And this brings you into the installer's menu. You can see written on top, installer menu. So normally most people can use the Skybox for their entire life and will never see this menu. And the option that's relevant to us is option number 4, which is RF outputs. So we can see in this case here that we have a SkyEye facility on this, and the RF output on that 9 volt signal, it's turned off. Now, it's turned off by default because if you're not going to use it, there's no point the box using more power and powering that particular output. So it's sort of a green energy reason to have this turned off. So you simply arrow down as far as the option, turn it on, come down, save the settings, and that's it. Back up all the way out. And now we know for a fact that the RF output is capable of powering a SkyEye. So the initial thing then is to test that your local SkyEye is working. And this is done. I'm just using an RF lead here. This is a male to female. If you're using a male to male, you'd need to use a coupler, a coax coupler, which I just don't have to hand right now, but it basically converts, this would be a male output, which slots in, and this is a female, which is ready for an input. Okay? So I'll turn this box around so hopefully you can see better. And the bottom output here is the 9 volt one here. So what I'll do is, instead of using a coupler, I'm going to use the female connector end, slot it in here, and come along, and I'll plug this end into the SkyEye. And we can see it's getting a signal from the SkyEye because it's giving a red light. Now, if I slotted it in the other output here, which is the passive side, it will not work. So that's very, very common because people have slotted it in the wrong end. Come along. So in terms of this, how we would test that this remote control is working is we would block this from the normal view of the television. So this can not always be a huge success because sometimes signal will go through to the box anyway. But if I go select here now, I have the Skybox turned the other way. So if this SkyEye wasn't working, I'm actually changing that television screen there using the SkyEye. So it's a very handy feature to actually test your Skybox to make sure the SkyEye facility is working, then test the SkyEye as well to make both sure are working, and then you can step by step move to a second room. Now another very important thing on this is that the electrical signal is very sensitive. So we don't want a situation where we have signal losses at joints. So it's not possible to use this successfully in my experience where you have faceplates in between. So if you have a faceplate on the wall, you should bypass the faceplate and join the two cables together. Not with coax connectors, which have a very high signal loss, but with F-type connectors, which are the screw-on type connectors, similar to what we'd use on the back of a satellite box here, and a joiner as well. Okay. One of the reasons that the Skybox may stop working is it's been wired perfectly, but it's just not working. Sometimes even the light is working on the thing, but you can't change channels. So you could repeat the step that I showed you earlier, which is to go into the installer menu, turn off the SkyEye facility, and then turn it back on. And believe it or not, this is the most common fix that most installers use for fixing SkyEye problems, where it's purely a software glitch. It's a matter of turning it off and turning it back on. Now, other things that may possibly cause it is that the SkyEye itself has been damaged. Sometimes it's obvious that it's been damaged, and it's simply fixed by replacing the SkyEye. And the final problem is that the Skybox itself is faulty and simply will not power the SkyEye, which means the Skybox itself is fine in terms of general operation, but from the SkyEye usage it won't work. And the next section would be that the cable in between is simply not powerful enough. It's an old style cable, or it's been damaged, and there's too much signal loss, or the run of cable is too long to successfully work the thing. Now the two things you can use to overcome that is you could use a powered SkyEye distribution system, which you can actually use to connect to a number of different televisions and with different SkyEyes. Or you can use a powered link amplifier equally, which will carry the signal for a longer distance. But that's basically as much as I can tell you on SkyEyes. They're very tricky, they're cheap to buy, they're very useful. In general, if they're working well, don't touch them is the key rule.